Welcome back. Let's now take a look at all the action from the Lal Street. The Nifty and the Sensex ended the truncated week on a weak note. The Nifty fell 0.5% and thus erased gains made in the last 2 weeks. IT stocks were the laggards, driven lower by the weak Infosys quarterly results. The mid-caps fared slightly better though and ended with a loss of only 0.25%. Sonia Shenoy is standing by to decode the day's trading action. Sonia, the bears beat the bulls convincingly today.
Well, today was another day of weakness for the market. There was no alarming sell-off or anything. It's just that we've been chipping off bit by bit on the downside. And it was a day of consolidation, but with a negative bias. So the Nifty closed around that 9150 mark. Two pockets of weakness really dragged the markets lower. One, it was technology. Clearly, after Infosys disappointed with its numbers, its guidance was weaker than expected. It dragged down the entire sector with it. So not just Infi, you had TCS, HCL Tech that were all under pressure today. The other pocket that didn't look that good was metals. In fact, after a long time, we've seen a sell-off in the metal space. So, all your stocks like Vedanta, Hindalco, Tata Steel were all down about 2 to 3% odd. However, you had heavyweights like Reliance, ICICI Bank and SBI that made sure the market stayed above 9150. So they sort of anchored the market today. Oil marketing companies rallied. So IOC, HPCL, BPCL did pretty well. In the broader markets, it was slightly lackluster today, but there were some mid-caps that stood out, names like India Bulls Real Estate. There's some demerger talks there. And you also had names like Avenue Supermarts that continue to defy gravity. All in all, ahead of the long weekend, it was just slightly slow for the markets. Looks like everyone is getting ready for their long weekend. Thanks so much.
Well, let's shift your attention to the other big story home. The Supreme Court's landmark liquor ban judgment has caused a huge squeeze on the state's coffers. Many states have started denotifying national as well as state highways in order to circumvent the apex court order. Today, Arrive Safe Society, the NGO which was behind the plea for the liquor ban, moved the Supreme Court. The move comes after the Punjab and Chandigarh High Court dismissed their petition which challenged the denotification order issued by the Chandigarh administration. The NGO told the court that various state governments are denotifying state highways to circumvent the order of the apex court. What's more is that the NGO also told the court that more states, including Goa, Telangana, Puducherry, are adopting similar routes. The court has now agreed to hear the plea. So what exactly are states up to? Remember, states stand to lose close to around 50,000 crore rupees because of the Supreme Court's liquor ban near highways. My colleague Priya Sheth is here with us. Priya, over to you.
Well, absolutely. States have started the process of denotification as a means to minimize the impact as far as overall revenues are concerned. But just to give you a sort of sense as to what is the kind of liquor consumption in state, the big liquor consumption states include Punjab, West Bengal, Maharashtra, Kerala, as well as Tamil Nadu. Now, essentially, what this typically means that 25 to 40% of their overall revenue comes from liquor consumption in the state, and that accounts to the big whopping figure of 50,000 crore rupees. That's the impact that states could perhaps face as a part of this Supreme Court directive. But let's go into individual states. Now, firstly, if you look at Punjab, Punjab has about 15,000 crores of revenues that could be hit as a part of this Supreme Court directive. And that essentially means that Punjab has started the process of denotification. It's denotified about 7 state highways. Similarly, Maharashtra has also moved towards denotifying state highways. In fact, 7,000 crore rupees is the kind of revenue loss that perhaps Maharashtra could see as a part of this process. But of course, Maharashtra has moved and looked at, denotifications, received proposals from 3 municipal corporations for this process. It's also moved towards denotifying the Western Express Highway as well as the Eastern Express Highway as part of the overall plan. Now, the next state that we see is West Bengal. About 1,000 crore rupees is the kind of revenue hit that it could perhaps see as a part of this Supreme Court directive. But what West Bengal has done, it has moved and declared about 275 kilometers of state highways as arterial roads. So therefore, that's one way by which they are using this process of denotification to circumvent the kind of impact of the Supreme Court directive. Now, similarly, there are 3 other states, including Uttarakhand, Rajasthan, as well as Himachal Pradesh. Now, look at the numbers. It's 16 state highways, 64 state highways for Uttarakhand, and 21 state highways as far as Rajasthan that have been denotified. So therefore, we can expect much more action as far as this is concerned, and we'll have to wait and watch how this pans out going ahead.
So Punjab is the state that stands to lose the most, followed by Maharashtra. Well, thanks for that, Priya. We'll take another short break here, but coming up next, the EPFO will now invest a part of its corpus in mutual funds. We explain the significance of this move on the other side.